Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Casual Conversations. I guess we didn't leave that improv gaming shit behind.
Only for you, sir.
Only for me. All right. Well, as always, clearly joined by the host with the most, Mr. I'm Wondering himself with the Kango cap in tow. It's Mr. Peter Anderson.
As I live and breathe.
As you live and as you breathe.
I'm always joined with the host with the toast.
Don't know what that means.
He's only my...
It's already offensive.
Best ponytail in the business.
It's fabulous.
Mr. Nicholas De Jesus.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? And we're joined by Joe.
There we go. I don't want to be an architect.
Side note, did you know for the longest time I did not know
Joe was Joe?
No, not that Joe was Joe. That on Destiny, when it says that you're killed by the architects, it means that you just like fell off the level. And it's because the people that designed the level, like it's a joke that like they killed you because you didn't pay attention to where you stepped.
That happened in our raid a lot.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, the architect.
Well, you were playing, so I could
more than
imagine.
anything.
It wasn't me. This fucker kept getting founded at the fucking
I'm doing
press
the hardest
recordings.
part, and he's like, oh, how'd you get
What
started?
were you doing?
I was doing
You were getting the
leg
flagpole?
jumping and all that.
Oh, okay.
But-
You guys already got to the dogs.
Yeah. So we did that part. And then that's how we kept getting screwed. So one good round we have going, this guy did literally 0 damage to the dogs.
Nice.
0.
Nice.
The only good run we had.
Nice.
Pete's
Always
nowhere to be
others.
found.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
Destiny always. It
I'm
always comes back. to
I'm
this.
highly upset.
Why are you upset?
I'm very upset. There's a phenomenal show on Netflix that nobody's talking about. And I'm very upset that nobody's talking about this show. And it needs to be talked about because it's awesome.
What's the show?
The show is called Big Mouth.
Big Mouth. Okay.
Big Mouth. All right. Stars Nick Kroll. I don't know if you're familiar with Nick Kroll.
Yep.
He's
Right.
my brother.
No, he's not. You probably wish he was. And a couple of other people, a lot of familiar names that you would know. Those SNL names, some comedy names like
look it up.
Jordan Peele is in it.
Okay.
Yeah, look up some names because these are names that you would definitely recognize. You would definitely recognize them. And one of them is surprising because I never saw him as this kind of a humorist or a comedian in this way. So let me give you a breakdown.
Break it down.
All right, I'll break it down. A bunch of kids in 13, 14 area, so grammar school going into high school, dealing with puberty and what comes from puberty.
Now, this is an animated show.
Animated series. Yes, animated series. I don't think they'd be able to pull off what they pulled off if it was live action at all. I don't think they can get away with this shit. So they're coming to terms with puberty and kind of what that entails, right? And it's full of the dirtiest, crudest kind of fucking humor you can possibly imagine. And I was laughing nonstop for the entire series to the point where like I just couldn't breathe. Like halfway through the series, my brain shut off and just didn't want to laugh anymore. Right? And then I watched it again and it picked up from that point and I just kept on laughing from that point. Like my brain shut off and said, this is way too much funny. You need to stop, slow down, or else you're gonna Joker yourself, die laughing. Joker, what is it? Laughing gas yourself. Right? That's his thing that he does?
Yes, I'm with you, Nick.
All right. So, I kind of wanted to get either of your perspectives on it because this is what my buddy told me, right? My buddy that I play Destiny 2 with a lot, instead of once a week.
No, he hasn't given up on it yet.
Yeah.
He played once this week, maybe. And it was the day I was there. And then even then he wanted to play Telltale games anyway. Just putting that
I haven't
out there.
played episode 2 of Batman yet, just so you know.
Okay.
Just putting it up.
So, I told him about the show, right? When I was watching, I was like 2 episodes in, and I texted him. I said, Big Mouth, Netflix, now. Never do that to anybody. So he knew that he had to go watch it, right? So he's sitting there with a girl of interest, let's call her. Girl of interest, and they're watching it, and by like halfway through episode 2, I can't do this, she says. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I just can't watch this show. It's like, it's disgusting. I can't, this isn't good. And he's like, you've sat here with Rick and Morty. You've watched South Park with me. You've seen Family Guy. What is it about this show that separates them? Is it the content? Or is it like the subject matter? Or is it the jokes? or is it the jokes about the subject matter? And they get into this whole huge argument that ends up being like, they're not even talking to each other anymore over this show, right? Very divisive, right? They're not even talking to each other anymore about this show. Now, I would be remiss to say that this is the only instance I've heard of this. My missus was at work recommending the show to a friend, and that friend's boyfriend comes up, and she tells him about the show, and he says, yeah, that's a fucking disgusting, horrible show. I'm never going to watch that. I've already seen parts of it. And he got, like, really angry about this show.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there like, okay, considering that people are getting very angry about this show, why the fuck is nobody talking about it? They talk about everything else, right? Everybody on the planet will talk about how you're sexualizing butts on the Apple fucking mouse because the Apple bottom jeans, but they won't talk about. That's exactly what I look at. That's how I look at everybody that makes complaints about stupid nonsense. But this show that's actually talking about real things that prepubescents go through, nobody wants to talk about. Now, is it because of its sexual nature that everybody doesn't want to talk about it? Or is it just people don't like crude humor? And if that's the case, then tell me why South Park is successful. Why is Family Guy successful? Why was Simpsons successful? What separates this show from those shows? Understandable?
Oh, yeah.
Right? One of the points I made to my buddy was, maybe it's because there's a lot of dicks. Maybe there's a lot of drawings of dicks. But then I was like, it can't be that because Superbad was successful.
Superbad had that.
Superbad was successful. And they were elaborate on that one.
Yeah.
Like, this is just animated. This isn't like,
Yep.
like whatever what the fuck was going on in Superbad. So I kind of wanted to get your guys' perspective on it. I don't know if you guys have seen the show or not.
No, I have not.
You
But
have
I'm
not.
I'm very curious now because I saw that you and a friend of the show, Mike, was talking about it. And I was like, let me check it out. But of course, I'm still trying to go through Curb Your Enthusiasm to catch up to season 9. But when you say that people are giving it problems, maybe because, and like I said, I've never seen the show, but could be maybe too realistic for some. For South Park, it's kids. Little fourth graders. Oh, ass fuck. You ain't. It's more like cartoonish, and I don't know how this looks or whatever, but it's more like free flowing because it's oh my god, a little boy said, I'm gonna fuck your mom. Like, that's funny. When it comes to maybe this and showing all the dicks and the going through the puberty, it's more
Maybe it hits too close to home.
yeah, where it's too close to home. When Family Guy is like, it's a talking baby, he says like fucked up shit, but it's a talking baby, and the dog talks. Oh, they have a cool little dynamic. Simpsons, I really can't comment that much on, but like eat your shorts with that Bart says, it's like, oh, he's just like like I think this is something where people are. It's Netflix, so it went very much under the radar from people not talking about it, but it shows it's like, hey, this is maybe a touchy subject. Like, it would be interesting to see if it wasn't animated. Would it get the same controversy that it would?
Based off of what, like, the one thing that you said, it's Netflix, so it flew under the radar. Ozark did not fly under the radar, and Ozark was a type break for what's his name? Why can't I think of his name? The guy from shit. He's a comedian.
From
Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman. It's a completely typecast break for Jason Bateman, where he gets very serious and there's very little joking, and like if there's joking at all, and all you get really is Jason Bateman's cadence and his voice. Other than that, it's not his comedy. It's just him talking about a situation or dealing with the situation that's arising. I don't want to spoil anything for Ozark, but that got like phenomenal praise. Everybody was, oh, you got to watch Ozark. Oh, watch Ozark. Watch Ozark. Jen and I are sitting there like, we saw that like 2 months ago. Where the fuck have you guys been? Mm-hmm. Right? This comes out and nobody's talking about it.
Do you know when it came out exactly?
It came out, I want to say a week ago. I want to say it was last week.
What, Big Mouth?
Big Mouth.
Okay.
Big Mouth came out last week.
Because it also could be something, and Netflix does this a lot. They have been doing a lot of original programming. A lot.
Yeah.
And they were advertising, I know last month was Jerry Seinfeld.
Came out the 29th.
Came out the 29th. Did it really?
Yeah, September 29th.
Oh, yeah. So last week.
So Seinfeld was putting out a comedy show, which he hasn't done in a number of years.
Yeah.
So that was the highlight of the Netflix. Like when you first log on, it's like, hey, this is what you should check out. And that came out, I believe, on like September 19th. So Netflix pushes a lot of things. If you look at it, they didn't really push Castlevania that much, and people love Castlevania. The only reason it got like a little bit of buzz, it's like, oh, you should check that out. Nobody's saying that a couple months later. So Netflix, whatever they push, is really going to hit the forefront. And look at.
Did you watch that Seinfeld stand-up?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. It was,
As a comedian and improver,
as a-
I like where
as a
like
Jerry fan, it was like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. Yeah.
like where he's like, I sat on this bench, had lunch.
I
you
wasn't
know.
blown away by it.
No,
I wasn't
absolutely
blown
not.
away by it, but
But the
I'm
little
more of a
things.
Louis C.K. kind of
Yeah.
like I like that kind of comedy.
I
So
know you do.
so seeing Jerry, it was like, oh, all right, yeah, he actually made this funny without being dirty,
Yeah.
which is what I expected of Jerry.
And like having him have all the notes on the floor, like saying these are all the jokes I like. Very for like a comedian and everything. It's like, oh, like I have similar ways of going about things. But like, so that was getting a lot of push. So it's interesting because something like Jack Horseman,
Yeah,
which is not bad and is on season 4, you know, at first was like, hey, this is a weird fucking comedy, whatever, and it went under the radar. And then the people who love it is bringing it back, season 2, season 3, you know? So, you know, if this stirs enough, maybe we'll see a season 2. I definitely want to check it out, though.
yeah.
Did you
I'm
ever-
actually quite interested in your perspective because, as I discussed in the last episode, non-Simpsons
episode.
fans, on Monday's episode, yeah, that was the last episode of Casual Conversations.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been paying attention, Pete. We have 2 shows this week.
I'm in on Tuesday. Did you ever
2 shows.
find out the
2
actors
shows.
and actresses?
One is called Improv Gaming. The other one is called Casual Conversations.
Thank you, Nick.
2 shows, not 2 episodes.
Maya Rudolph would be the other big name that people probably would have known.
Maya Rudolph.
The other
But
people are they're all from the league. Nick Kroll is from the league.
Okay.
The other guy, I can't think, it was Jason, whatever his name was.
Bateman?
Look it back up.
no, not Jason Bateman. Jordan Peele, Maya Rudolph.
A funky last name.
Not Jason Segel.
No, not Jason Segel.
That would make me want to watch it right now.
Jason Mantzoukas.
Mantzoukas, Jay Mantzoukas.
That guy.
Yeah.
He was in the league also with Nick Kroll.
This guy.
Okay.
This guy is the one that's surprising. John Mulaney is in it. I don't know if you guys ever watched his stand up. Completely,
So you recommend this?
absolutely recommend it.
Favorite animated
Yeah, and it's
Show
1
of all
season
time.
in. I'm like,
How
this
many
is, This is
episodes?
the show. 14 episodes.
14?
14 episodes. It's not. It's breaking like the regular like 10 episodes a
Yeah,
season
yeah.
type of thing that everybody's doing now.
So would you have any like recommendations if people want to watch it?
Yeah.
Go in with like an open mind.
Yeah, not go in with an open mind, right? Just understand where you came from and understand the funny shit that you did as a fucking kid in order to compensate for that stuff that you were going through that nobody wanted to talk to you about.
Episode 1 is called Ejaculation, and episode 3 is Am I Gay? So,
Okay?
I'm excited for this show.
All right?
I'm very excited for this show.
so I know what we're doing Wednesday. Me and Pete will be watching this the whole time.
Yeah, do you want to watch it on Wednesday?
Yeah, we
I
can
think
watch it on
that would
Wednesday.
be cool.
There
So-
will be no live video game streaming on Wednesday. There'll be a Big Mouth watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for Casual Conversations. I think we gave you a full dose of a full dose, a huge big mouth synopsis
Hey.
in sense. If you like what you saw, hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. As always,
Have conversations with people
Casually.
casually.